Hey JL, I know you have diabetes. Yes, that's right. Well, I watched a YouTube video. This doctor says there is a diet that cures diabetes. A 32-year-old woman was stuck into one of the most popular fad diets by a friend. This is what happened to her kidneys. JL is a 32-year-old kindergarten teacher presenting to the urgent care center with abdominal pain. She tells the admitting nurse that she wasn't able to have a bowel movement for days now, and that she had just threw up something that totally looked like coffee grounds. Unfortunately, however, after examination, JL is sent home. The only prescription is an oral laxative. This will solve everything, tells her the doctor. And she really hoped the doctor was right. You see, JL's school planned a big field trip for the next day, and JL was almost as excited as the kids were. And she really didn't want to miss another day of school. She knew that she already took too many sick days that year. However, as soon as she got back in the car with her husband, she started being worried again. JL, why haven't you told the doctor that your breath smells like acetone? Asked her husband. Well, I was embarrassed. And maybe as soon as this laxative works, the bad breath is going away too, said JL. But it didn't. You see, a few months earlier, JL embarked on a very dangerous diet. A diet that can be very harmful, especially when not monitored by a doctor. And even worse, when the person that's following the diet is also a diabetes patient. Back at home now, JL takes the laxative. After just a few minutes, she starts to feel a sharp pain in her abdomen and in her kidneys. She tries to vomit again, but she just can't. She curls up in a fetal position in the bathroom and she starts to cry. As soon as her husband finds her, he calls for 911 and she's brought to the hospital again. She doesn't know this yet, but the diet she is following causes a huge amount of acid to build up in her body, a condition called diabetic ketoacidosis, which is severely damaging her kidneys. Catherine here, welcome today to a new real story from the emergency room. In these videos, I will show you facts that really happened and that can teach us a valuable lesson. All the case studies I'm presenting you were published in peer-reviewed medical journals. None of the relevant facts have been altered. And guys, I know that you really like some of the real stories I've published, and there are many more to come. So don't forget to subscribe to Double O Kini if you already haven't, because I publish new videos every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. And as I was saying, today's story comes with a very valuable lesson. You see, JL, our protagonist for today, is really trying to do something good for her health. JL was severely overweight and she believed that her diabetes was caused by that. So she took action, which is a really good decision, something I really encourage. But you see, there are 3 steps in solving a problem. The first step that JL took is admitting that she had a problem, and that's good. And then there is taking action, but that's just the 3rd step. There is a 2nd step here that JL unfortunately missed, which is getting informed. You see, if JL collected more information before embarking in a very harmful fad diet, things could have been very different for her. Let's see why. We are in the hospital again now, and while JL's husband is told to wait outside in the waiting room, the hospital staff starts to collect data about JL's problem. Finally, what they found out is that her blood pressure is 162/103, very high for someone her age. Her kidneys are rapidly being damaged as her creatinine jumped to 2.1. And she never had kidney problems before starting the diet despite her diabetes. They also finally noticed the acetone-like scent on her breath, and another even more worrisome symptom. JL is breathing very fast with deep breaths. This is a serious symptom called osmorespiration that occurs in response to a serious disturbance in the levels of carbon dioxide in blood. Further testing revealed what the doctors were suspecting. JL's ill-advised diet was causing her blood to become extremely acidic. This was confirmed by several test results, including very low serum bicarbonate, a venous pH of 6.97, and an elevated onion gum. But another level worried the doctors. JL blood glucose was 435 milligrams per dl, more than 4 times higher than normal. How is this possible? Doctor asked himself when reading the test results. She is taking metformin to control that, and she is also following a diet without carbs. Her blood sugar should be low, not high. And you see, this is a medical mystery. The diet GL was following was harmful for her. It caused almost all the symptoms. The high amount of acid in blood, later diagnosed as diabetic ketoacidosis, the high creatinine levels, and the kidney damage. Even the constipation and the emesis with coffee ground content, all caused by that dangerous diet. But not the very high blood glucose level. There is no way a diet with almost no carbs could cause high blood glucose levels. And now the doctors are facing a serious problem. Will they be able to find a reason for JL very high blood glucose level before it's too late? And even more important, how can a diet so harmful still be so popular? The diet that causes almost of JL problems is the keto diet, and you probably already knew that if you follow me regularly. If you are also following the second step here, I mean, there are very few diets that can send you to the emergency room in just 2 months. The keto diet in particular is a very dangerous fat diet that no one should be following without being monitored by a healthcare professional, especially those with diabetes or even worse, kidney problems. And yet today many self-called experts are still hyping this diet as the panacea for all health problems.
In this module, I will review the importance of eating the right amount of protein for your kidney health.
But it isn't. A keto diet is an extremely low-carb diet that gets your body to burn fat at a fast rate. Keto dieters typically replace carbs with meat and animal fats. Fats take up 70% of daily caloric intake, and it's undeniable that this diet has developed a cult following during the last years. What they never tell you is that there is no proof that a keto diet makes you lose weight any faster than a normal, healthy diet with the same caloric deficit. It was also never proven that the weight loss is caused by ketosis. It was, on the other hand, demonstrated that restricting calories the same way a keto does, but without removing fruit and vegetables, also works very well, and it's way safer. So how worried should we be for poor JL now? Well, unfortunately, there have been reports of young healthy people losing their lives due to the keto diet. Less than 2 years ago, an Indian actress, Mishti Mukherjee, passed away from kidney failure at the age of 27 due to complications related to her keto diet. As per media reports, Mukherjee was suffering from kidney disease due to the keto diet, which resulted in her ultimately death. She died from kidney failure on Friday night, October 2, 2020, and the actress was reportedly in a lot of pain before her death. But how can a diet be fatal for someone so young? Several studies found that those who eat a keto diet have a greater risk of death. There is evidence that eating a keto diet for an extended period of time may lead to several health issues: stiffening of the arteries, kidney damage, gut health issues, nutrient deficiencies, and even early death, according to long-term observational study in over 130,000 adults. I mean, this is a diet that forbids eating fruit and vegetables. Whole grains, fruits, and vegetables carry a number of beneficial nutrients, vitamins, polyphenols, fiber that have been shown time and time again to be beneficial for cardiometabolic health. And the excessive consumption of protein creates a huge burden on the kidneys, which eventually affects the kidney function and may lead to renal failure. Not to mention the risk for ketoacidosis, a very dangerous cause of kidney damage. Question: what happens to your kidneys when you start a keto diet? You see, suddenly and drastically reducing carbohydrates sets your body up for some sort of double whammy. The brain's favorite fuel is glucose, which is mostly easily created from carbohydrates. In very low carb diets, the brain has to adjust to use ketones from digested fats for energy, and that's not very good for you. To make things worse, your kidneys release more electrolytes as insulin levels fall. At the same time, your total body water decreases as carbohydrates become depleted. The result? what's known as the keto flu, which could cause constipation, nausea, headache, fatigue, irritability, cramps, and other more serious symptoms. This is why a competent dietitian will never recommend a keto diet without being 100% sure that you don't have diabetes or kidney problems. On the other hand, many keto dieters are told by experts to look at these symptoms like sort of proof that the diet is working. And I know that there are people who really swear by the keto diet. They really believe that stopping eating carbs is what caused them to lose weight. What I always ask people using a keto diet to lose weight is this: did you try eliminating sugar, refined carbs, ultra-processed foods, and alcohol from your diet first before going to keto? Okay guys, time now to see if JL was eventually able to go home with her husband and to see her beloved kids once again. When reading JL test results and confronting them with her symptoms, doctors were perplexed because while they quickly confirmed the keto diet as the cause for basically all the symptoms JL was having, her blood glucose levels should have been low, not very high. How was that even possible in someone taking metformin and following a very low-carb diet? This was a mystery that required a consultation from an endocrinologist. The diabetes specialist said that he needed more tests to be done. He wanted to know what GLA1C, C-peptide, and GAD65 antibodies levels were. The results confirmed that JL was also victim of a medical error, a misdiagnosis that happened 2 months ago. JL didn't have type 2 diabetes. So the question is, what can cause high blood sugar levels in someone not eating carbs? JL's A1C level was high as expected. This was a confirmation that she indeed had diabetes, but her low C-peptide level, very elevated GAD65 antibodies, and elevated zinc transporter 8 antibodies all suggested that she was misdiagnosed. The very elevated GAD65 antibodies in particular told the endocrinologist that her diabetes wasn't caused by insulin resistance. It was caused by an autoimmune disease. JL didn't have type 2 diabetes. She was suffering from type 1 diabetes. She wasn't making any insulin. So, did she make it? When the doctors finally realized that the cause of the very high blood sugar levels was type 1 diabetes, they started to give her insulin. They also believed that JL was suffering from a relatively rare condition called LADA, latent autoimmune diabetes in adults. This is a hybrid form of diabetes with features of both type 1 and type 2 diabetes, but it is a controllable condition that can be treated with lifestyle changes such as weight reduction and increased physical activity. That JL was already doing, even if in a dangerous way, but she also needed insulin now. And while medical science can't confirm this hypothesis yet, it's not impossible that the keto diet was also the trigger for the LADA. Now some good news. When JL was treated for the high blood sugar level and for the acid in blood, she immediately started to improve. All her levels started to improve during the next 24 hours, and she was later sent home with the right tools now to manage her condition. She is now more prepared and more knowledgeable about her health, and I believe she will be able to greatly improve. I am very glad that JL made it, even if she also caused a damage to her health, because what JL did is admirable. She took action to solve her health problem. She put her health first, but like she found out, in the worst possible way, there are many other safer ways to lose weight without risking your kidneys. But you have to get informed, just like you are doing right now. And guys, if you like this real story and want to see more like this one, this video up here may be interesting. And this is all for today. Thank you for watching. God bless.